Hello folks, it's me, MetalMan8713 here today. How's everyone doing, by the way? Oh, yeah, some of the videos are coming out left, right and centre today, 6th of January. Right, well anyway then, this video is going to start, well, it'll be quite a lot of videos in alphabetical order, actually. So yeah, I'm going to take you through on some of these series of videos, which will pop up on my album collection. Specifically on CD, actually, because that is the biggest out of the lot. It's all which is all mainly like rock and heavy metal music, like for the most part. Actually, quite throughout all the decades, actually, from 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and also today as well. So yeah, but anyway, so it's not in any particular order, this collection, but I'm going to be splitting each video into a video which will feature one band, and the collection of albums have for that, and also as well during the video as well, I'll also tell you a bit of brief history also about each band as well, and some select facts before going through the albums. Anyway, the first one, which I'll be starting with once I get my camera on the tripod, will be AC/DC. So yeah, I'll see you in a moment. And also as well, and then Mark Evans got fired and got replaced by bassist Cliff Williams, and in the 1970s, as they went round, started to become popular in Australia, and then also gradually Europe, the UK, and also America as well, which we'll get to in the course of things as well. Also some of their 1970s albums had also in the 70s separate release dates for Australia and the rest of the world. So just a thought I might let you know. So anyway, they released a couple of albums in 1975 in Australia, and then they came out with this, High Voltage, which this is their debut album in the rest of the world. This came out in 1976, and also features songs on here from their first two albums, like It's a Long Way to the Top, Livewire, The Jack, High Voltage, TNT, which are still in the set list today. Angus Young on the front in all his glory on there. And then, we've got this album, which came out in 1977, Let There Be Rock, which, also the last, which featured Mark Evans before he got replaced by Cliff Williams. And also, if you got the album in Australia, the cover would have looked something like this, basically. And also, when I said about the gain popularity, the first gained popularity around Australia, then ventured into Europe and the UK in 1976. There's a photo of the band in there, by the way, on here. And then, some of their music, the band members refer it just simply as rock and roll, basically, although it can be described like maybe as blues rock, hard rock, heavy metal, and also rock and roll, basically. They released albums in the 70s and gradually became popular, and this next one, this was their big international breakthrough, Highway to Hell. This one came out in 1979 and was also the last to feature Bon Scott on here, after a string of albums. And this was also the first three albums produced by Mutt Lange, who produced albums for for bands like Foreigner, Def Leppard, AC/DC, Bryan Adams, also Shania Twain in the 1990s, amongst quite a few artists. Quite a good album, quite a successful one on there. Bon Scott, God rest him, he died of acute alcohol poisoning. Because he went out on a night out in London for a drink and then basically passed out in a car, and he choked on his own vomit, basically. And then but anyway, God rest him, after Bon Scott died, the band members considered quitting, but Scott's parents and also like for example, wanted the band to continue. So they auditioned quite a few singers, also including Noddy Holder from the band Slade, until they settled on former Geordie singer Brian Johnson, which you'll see a photo of him now. And the lineup of AC/DC, and then what they started out with Scott became the most, well, as far as physical albums go, this is the second best-selling album of all time, as far as those go, behind Michael Jackson's Thriller out of all albums. Back in Black, this one came out 1980, and also firmly cemented Brian's place in the band, and it's also got quite a lot of good songs and staples on there. Hell's Bells, Shoot to Thrill, Back in Black, Shook Me All Night Long, Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution, Have a Drink on Me, and pretty good album, that one. And then by this time in the 1980s, they would have become one of the world's top acts at the time in the 1980s, filling out arenas and concert halls everywhere. Yeah, and then 1981 they released this one. This was their last album with Mutt Lange, Let There Be Rock. Came out 1981 on here, 1981. And also features the classic concert staple at the end. Well, obviously for those about to rock, and when they inserted the cannons into their stage show. I forgot to mention, Back in Black, on some of their shows, they had a big bell which they took with them, which had the AC/DC logo on, which you'll see a photo in a second, and which also what they put down when they played Hell's Bells, which is the first track on this one. So yeah, AC/DC, Let There Be Rock, another good album again. Yeah, 1983, Phil Rudd. Phil Rudd was fired from the band and replaced by a young 20-year-old drummer called Simon Wright, who was in a new wave of British heavy metal band called A to Z. And also, the Young brothers wanted to go back to a bit of a more raw, form of rock music. So yeah, they got Flick at the Switch. This one came out in 1983. Yeah, got a very, very simple cover on there, Angus Young on there and what have you. And yeah, if I can find a photo of the band on here, some of them, Brian Johnson on there, they're the Young brothers, Angus and Malcolm. Yeah, I forgot to mention, they were born in Scotland in 1955, and then in about 1963, after the cold winter, what everyone experienced that year, they would have immigrated to Australia and then that's how they ended up down that way. Anyway, they released also another album called afterwards with Simon Wright called Fly on the Wall, which I've actually got on vinyl. And 1988 released this one, Blow Up Your Video, which was also the last with Simon Wright on drums on here, and where they started to get some of their commercial success back because some of the albums flopped a tiny bit in the mid-80s commercially, but still pretty good live and stuff. Yeah, this next one, the Razor's Edge. This one came out in 1990, and this is where they cemented their AC/DC cemented their big comeback as well from this time. And this also features the smash track Thunderstruck on this one. And yeah, on this one. And they also, in the UK, before a festival called Download Festival came around, there was a festival called Monsters of Rock, which they performed 4 times. Well, 3 times actually, at the Monsters of Rock and once at Download. Yeah, so they did 1981, 1984, and 1991. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, and also, they carried on successfully, and also they had a drummer Chris Slade on this one because Simon Wright left. And then the lineup shuffled back to the 1980-83 lineup of Brian Johnson, the Young brothers, Cliff Williams, and Phil Rudd for many, many years, releasing more albums, and then 2008, there's this one. Don't know if you can see it. I'm going to put this under the light. Black Ice. This one came out 2008. This one. Yeah, you can see the track list on there. Track list. Another pretty good album, this one. Iron Man 2 AC/DC Iron Man 2. This was actually a soundtrack. This is actually a soundtrack album just of various AC/DC songs for the Marvel film Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2, which came out in 2010, and yeah, pretty good compilation. 2014, and oh yeah, AC/DC, they're still going on today, and yeah, albums like many established bands, since obviously would be well established, would tend to release albums within a longer period of time. So yeah, 6 years after Black Ice, we got this one, Rock or Bust, which put a brief end to the early 80s lineup because, well, Brian Johnson had brief hearing loss, Cliff left the band, and also Phil Rudd at the time got placed under house arrest for reason for I think it was for drug reasons. I think when I looked up, but could be wrong though. And then yeah, and also Axl Rose was also briefly in the group as well as lead vocalist during the tour. But yeah, the album overall, yeah, another alright album. Got this animation on the front, AC/DC logo being blown away. Yeah, and then luckily though, the lineup came back together, and then they released this a few years ago in 2020. This is called Power Up. On here, and then this is their most recent album, which yeah, it's a pretty nice album. So yeah, and yeah, AC/DC, they're still technically going on today, but although haven't heard any album news off them for a while. And yeah, so yeah, but anyway, so till that's the end of the first part of this video. I've got 2 more videos which I'll be posting up today. I'll be doing 2 bands called Aerosmith and also Airborne as well. So, well, anyway, so thank you very much for watching, folks. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and also hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos, whatever they may be on this channel, because you never know. Well, all the videos on this channel are a bit of everything. Right, so yeah, folks, so anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you in part 2 of the album collection. So, I'll see you later. Hello everyone again. I forgot to mention for this video that on the most recent lineup for Rock or Bust, and also this album, Power Up, just get the curtain so you can see me a bit. For this album, Power Up, it's got Malcolm Young's nephew, Stevie Young, in the band, if I can find him. So yeah, I'm just going to put this under the light so I can see it. Yeah, or actually probably not. So yeah, he is right in the centre, right there. And yeah, his nephew is basically a son of one of basically Malcolm and Angus Young's older brothers. Born in the 1930s. And yeah, and also it's not the first time he was in the band. He was in the band in 1988 when Malcolm had to briefly leave to sort out some problems related to alcohol and get himself sober. And then when he took over the second time, well, his uncle sadly, Malcolm sadly got dementia and died sadly in 2014. So God bless Malcolm. Yeah, good, fantastic rhythm guitarist. But yeah, and so yeah, for the most, so yeah, Stevie Young has taken his place in the father's band ever since. So yeah, just wanted to mention that bit. So yeah, well anyway, that is done and dusted with the first video of this big album collection. It will be a very long journey through them, so brace yourselves. Yeah, plenty of albums to come. So yeah, and until the next one, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. And cheerio.